Hey y'all. Hey family. Hey family. How y'all doing? Child. I'm gonna let y'all get on up in here. I'm gonna let y'all get on up in here. I just woke up not too long ago. I had a good nap, y'all. If you're not taking naps in the daytime, you need to take a nap in the daytime. She said, because why is she playing with a more like that? Get on in here. Get on in here. I made some taco salad today. She said, the more you glowing. I just woke up. So y'all read the title. Today we're going to touch on this polite story, but I want a few more people to get in. I want to wait and start talking after about 150. We at 126. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. Please hit that thumbs up button. We're going to start talking when we get around 150, okay? I'm making taco salad. I already made it. I'm just putting the rest of it together. She said, I've been waiting patiently for you since 7 p.m. What time is it now? It's 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's 9 o'clock y'all time. I'm a little late, just a little late. I was asleep, y'all. Sleep. She said, baby, when Ebony said she was 39. Oh, it's 134 people. I'm gonna let a little bit more people get in here. She said, I just changed my picture. Oh, okay. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come in the room. Come in the room. Come on in the room. That's what I'm gonna start singing. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm just getting some grapes together so I can snack on y'all. Come on in the room. Y'all see my grapes? Mmm. Mmm, mmm, 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 mmm. When I tell you these grapes are good, mmm, mmm, mmm. These grapes are so delicious. Come on in this room. Come on in this room. We at 166, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, please. Come on in this room. Come in this room. Come in this room. Come in this room. Come on in the room. Hold on, y'all. I'm just taking care of a little something, something. Just taking care of a little something, something. Hope y'all had a good day today. Hope y'all had a good day today. My day was amazing, and I got a nap because I was up early this morning. So, first of all, hello. A special shout out to my channel members. It's a whole lot of y'all. I'll be calling out 200 names if I. She said, I'm in the Caribbean islands. Oh, yes, girl. Where you at, virtual girl? Which island are you on? She said, were you in jail? Y'all know if I go to jail, it's going to be on Channel 9 News, Channel 3, Channel 6. No. There ain't no reason, honey. I abide by the law. Ain't no way I'm going to jail. You can cancel Christmas on that. But I got 199. One more person, y'all. I know I said 150, but now it's 199. One more person. One more person. Let's get 200 people up in here. Everybody hit it. There we go. There we go. Okay, we had 202. Listen, today, first of all, hello to everybody. And I mean everybody. She said, I be trying to stay up like I'm grown. My bedtime is 7:30. LOL, keep in mind, I'm 31. I'm always falling asleep watching your live, but finish watching it once I wake up. Yes, honey. If you fall asleep watching my live, just turn it on your way to work in the morning. Make sure you get it in or whatever. But today's topic, you guys, how many, by the show of hands, have heard of Brother Polight's story? Brother Polight, the guy that just got recently locked up for sexual assault on his girlfriend's daughter. How many of you guys have been following that story or know anything about it? Show of hands, show of hands. Okay. So we got some people familiar with the story. All right, so I don't want this whole live to be about him. I want this live to be about the impact mothers have because of men like him. Okay. So for those that don't know, Brother Polight, he was I say was because now the Joker locked up. He was a prominent black male figure, right? In the conscious community. He had a whole lot of followers, a whole lot of people follow him. I mean, hundreds of thousands, maybe 300,000 or more, right? He had the attention of a lot of people. He was an influencer, okay? He had a whole bunch of wives and stuff like that, you know. He believed in all that polygamy stuff, you know. Not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying he went along with that type of stuff. So he had a whole bunch of wives. He can get as many girls as he want. He had a bunch of beautiful women that, you know, wanted him, and he could have probably had any woman he wanted, right? So he had a girlfriend that has a daughter. She's 14 years old. Based on now, it's different sides to the story. He has his side, but I'm gonna tell the mama side because I'm just gonna tell the mama side, right? The mama said that he wanted to have a conversation with her, you know, basically say, you know, how lucky you are to have such a wonderful mom and how, you know, respecting and honoring your mother would be wise or something to that effect. So he asked the girlfriend, can he take her and have a one-on-one with her? He just wanted a one-on-one, right? And she said yes because she trusted him. So she allowed her daughter to go with him to have this one-on-one. And apparently he was supposed to bring, you know, it was supposed to be short, brief, and to the point. After they was gone for a little bit, she started calling him. Calling him. He wouldn't answer his phone. Wouldn't answer his phone. Wouldn't answer his phone. I had to turn Facebook off because it kept dinging. Wouldn't answer his phone. She said she called him over 50 times. He wouldn't answer his phone. She started calling her daughter. Daughter wouldn't answer her phone. She trying to figure out what's going on. All that till she found out that he took her daughter to a hotel, y'all. He took her daughter to a hotel, drugged her, forced alcohol down her throat so bad that it broke her tooth. Right? And then he took advantage of her. He molested her. He made her do sexual activities on him, you know, to the point. I'm not going to get so explicit because it's disgusting, right? But to the point, one of the sexual activities that he did by putting his, you know, his shrimp into her mouth, he thrust so hard that he busted her lip. Yeah. So he brought her back home. She was all beat up a little bit, you know what I mean? Roughed up, busted lip, chipped tooth. So she called the police. He begged her not to call the police. Begged her. Begged her. begged her not to call the police. Now, here's the thing. This is a trigger warning because I'm going to play the impact statement of the mom. If you are going through anything like that, or if it makes you feel really bad or give you some type of triggers to hear things like this, I may have to ask you to leave the room because the impact statement is horrible. It's going to make you cry. So if you are an emotional type of person, I'm gonna play this impact statement. I would just say log off or put it on mute for a few minutes to let this impact statement play. I want you to hear this mom, and then we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about men like him. We're going to talk about the fear of having to worry about somebody like that, a monster like him, being around our daughters. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Okay. So let me let you hear the impact statement of the mother of this 14-year-old. And then we'll talk about what punishment he received in this, that, and the other. Because he is in jail. That's not true, Kia, but let me just let y'all hear this. All right, hold on. Again, if this triggers you, please exit the room or turn your volume down until this is over, okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Michael Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years.
Now let's stop right there. So for 2.5 years, they have been fighting this case. For 2.5 years.
Hold on, I just want y'all to hear the impact statement. Hold on. I thought it was going to be the impact statement. Shoot.
They have been playing.
Right now, I'm just interested in the impact statement. I don't really. Hold on. And this impact statement, for those that don't know, is right before his sentence, because he took a plea deal. And the plea deal, let me see if this is it right here. I just want the impact statement. I don't really want all the backstory. Because I don't want this live to be focused on him totally. I want to talk about the impact of
disbelief.
Hold on, I want the whole one. Good Lord, y'all. I know I heard it yesterday. Hold on. Maybe this is it right here. It's chilling, y'all. Very, very chilling.
All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Okay, here we go.
Good morning.
All right, hold on.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name. So at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers, trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself. You told me you was gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. You were gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were gonna bring her right back. I thought you were gonna have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. And you sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system. And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode because I'm scared when she comes back, she's gonna be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How can you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this, although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept the sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I sat by your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person a sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image. But I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're going to ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable act that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we will and will always be superior of you because a successful, honest career is something that you could never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So Michael Nowak, I hope you enjoy prison and God bless you.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
I know I see a lot of y'all in the comments saying he only got 7 years. He only got 7 years. He only got 7 years. The 7 years was a plea deal. Okay. He got 7 years in prison, 10 years probation. Now, the 10 years probation is also contingent upon him completing a special program, right, for sex offenders. And the program, he has to actually, I'm not going to say graduate, but it has to be completed, right? They have to say, after he completes this program, if they see fit for him to be back in society. Now, the catch-22 is he can go through this program. This is after he do the 7 years, and they can say that they don't think that he's fit to go back into society. And what I mean by that is, for those that have already been following this story, he's still trying to say he's innocent. He's not admitting guilt. He's saying he didn't do it, right? But he's saying the reason why he took the 7-year plea deal is because he didn't want life. He was looking at like 60 something years. You might as well say life. Okay. because, you know, with his age and all, he wouldn't have gotten out during his natural life. So he would have been facing way more time, right? So he took the 7 years and then the 10-year probation. But my thing is this, and again, I don't want this live to be solely about him because we're going to go on, but I just feel if you didn't rape, molest, take advantage of a 14-year-old, there's no way you would have took that plea deal. There's no way. You would have rotted in prison, but you would have maintained your innocence. I don't know too many men that will take a plea deal of admitting that you violated a 14-year-old if you didn't. He did it. That 7 years was a smack on his hand. However, we can say that smack on the hand with the legal aspect, but trust me, these 7 years in prison is going to be a tough 7 years for him, as they should. And his 10-year probation, 10 years, monitored probation. That's having someone monitor your life for 10 years. He can't do nothing, y'all, nothing. And this is 10 years after he do 7 years behind bars, which I'm hearing some people say he may only do 5, 7. That's still, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have to, people in prison is going to know what he's in there for, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Then when he gets out, he got 10 years of monitored probation. It's going to be rough for him. His only concern is he didn't want to be a registered sex offender. He was so worried about that, of being a registered sex offender. But he pled guilty to violating a 14-year-old, basically giving her alcohol, or he said he gave it to her. Like I said, I don't really want to go into the story because he got a side, she has a side. I choose to believe the mom's side, and the reason being is because, let me tell you why. Just like somebody just said in the comments, it is no way, and I mean absolutely no way possible that his semen should have been found on that girl, on her daughter. No way. No way. You cannot think of a story to tell me or why the DNA from you was found on that 14-year-old. You can't freaking convince me of no way possible that the reason why your DNA, your semen was found on her. Okay? Now, with that story being said, I want to go into the impact his story leaves on mothers with daughters. And at first I was just going to say single moms, but now I'm going to say all moms, because we have to worry about this, ladies. We have to worry about having a boyfriend or marrying someone, you know, a husband, around our daughters. By the show of hands, and I'm going to have to raise mine, who lived with that fear at any point in your relationship, whether it was the very beginning, whether, you know, you was just dating, or even after you married? Did you live with that fear? Or even before you start dating, did you fear, if you had a daughter, that meeting someone, they may try to violate or take advantage of your baby girl? A lot of us live with that fear, okay? I was one of them, because, you know, I told y'all I was molested before as a child. So when I had my daughter and things didn't work out with her dad and I, as I started dating, that was a huge fear of mine. Huge fear. Huge fear. And you have that fear. And as the mother said, she trusted him. She trusted him. And the very first time she allowed them to be alone. Somebody said, the more they mess with sons too. I agree with you, Sonia, but I will have to admit, I didn't have that fear with my son. I probably should have. I understand what you're saying. But I didn't have that fear with my son. I had it with my daughter. It was scary as hell. But I do 100% agree with you, Sonia. And thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. But there's no book. There's no signs to watch for. She trusted this man. And the very first time she allowed them to be alone because she thought they were about to have a conversation, a one-on-one conversation. The very first time he took advantage of her. He took advantage of the 14-year-old. That's scary. And it's sad. But let me tell you what I commend from her. I commend her for not allowing her love for him, the money that he had, because he had a lot, he was wealthy because he had a lot of followings, and he was big time social media influencer. So he had money. More than often, y'all, girlfriends, wives, mothers of these abused daughters, they let these freaking disgusting men get away with this, y'all. They let these men lie to them and say, no, I didn't do anything. Your daughter is lying. They do that. Or maybe sometimes they even just break up with the guy, but keep it hush hush because they don't want to ruin him. And they let it go. No, it was not his daughter. Somebody said that his daughter. No, it was not his daughter. She was the boyfriend. I mean, he was the boyfriend. That was not his daughter. But the thing about it is, she took a stand. He begged her not to call the police. Please, you're going to ruin me. Please, please don't call the police. Please, please, you're going to ruin me. She didn't let money. She didn't let her love. Because, honey, let me tell you. That had to be a hard decision for her. You got a man that you love, that you trusted. But you also have your child that you love and that you are supposed to protect. It is our responsibility to protect our children as parents. As parents, it is our job and responsibility to protect our children. She stood up. Now, the reason why he only got the 7 years, because she didn't want to drag her daughter through a trial. Her daughter would have had to get up on that stand and relive what she went through all over again. She didn't want that for her daughter. She says, no, I don't want my daughter having to go through that, having other lawyers question her, try to prove that it was her fault. Because that's what happens. Because he tried to come out and say the daughter got drunk. His only fault in this is knowing that she was drinking and doing drugs and he allowed it. Such pig he is, disgusting pig. He's still trying to deny it. He wants to blame it on the daughter. So if she would allow her daughter to go to trial, you would have had some lawyer try to rip that 14-year-old apart. Would have tried to put the blame on her. The mother said no. She didn't want that for her daughter. So she took the plea deal of 7 years, 10-year probation. There is, like I said, some parents out there that would have turned their heads. For one, to stay in a relationship. For two, not getting this man in trouble, whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? There would have been parents. There would have been women out there that would have turned their heads. And that's an unfortunate thing. I would tell any girlfriend, wife, if this happens to your child, son or daughter, do what this mother did. Report him. Press charges. Do not let him get away. Let the world know what type of scum, disgusting pig that person that you were with, that you was once in love with is. Now, here's the thing, people may say, well, he had to have given some type of signs. Now, I will say this, because he had multiple wives, and because he posted on his social media him with multiple half-naked women, he was always around a half-naked woman. If you want to go look, just look up Brother Polight. I'm sure you'll see it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all these different outlets. He was always posted up with some half-naked woman. Okay? So when we say, well, what was the signs? Could you not see it? Could you not see it? There's no signs, right? You could trust a person. But I will say this. I would be leery of a man that has to have a lot of women, be around a lot of half-naked women, always looking at booties, posting up with booties. It's almost like it becomes an obsession for them. So, me personally, that would be a sign for me. That would be a sign for me. Why, if you have women, if you got a girlfriend, like he had multiple wives, they say multiple wives. Shit, I heard 5 or 6. I don't know, maybe more or less. I don't know. I heard 5 or 6 wives, like ridiculous amount, right? But if you have all these wives, why are you always with half-naked women? Why are you always taking pictures with half-naked women? Why are half-naked women always around you? Something ain't right with that picture. And some of these women, and I'm going to pull it up. Some of these women look mighty young. Now, I'm going to show you what this man looked like for those that doesn't know. Now, he ain't easy on the eye. Not to me. There's always those ones, all right? Let me show you him first. Now, I'm gonna show you him. And the reason why I'm gonna show you this picture, because I'm just gonna let you know just how not easy on the eyes he really is. Come on. Hold on, let me see if I can make it. This is him. Do you see him? Let me see if I can. Do you see this brother? Do y'all see him? That's him. So, you know, you don't even have to be an attractive man, right? Ugh. You don't even have to be an attractive man to manipulate, because he was a mass manipulator, y'all. That's the thing. A lot of us need to pay attention. This man was a mass manipulator, mass manipulator. Not easy on the eyes at all, but probably can pull any woman he wanted, y'all. Let's just keep it real, okay? This man, let me show you some of the beautiful women that he pulled. I don't think that I've seen one unattractive woman with him. They were all young too. Hold on. Let me do it up under this other thing right here, because Google tripping. Okay. Let me just show you what some of his wives look like. I guess money, y'all. Oh. Now, I did hear some of the wives has turned against him, but some of them have not. Some of the wives gonna stand beside him. Some of the wives gonna stand beside him. But some of them, I think one or two, said, "No, I'm out." All right, I'm gonna bring up this because there's so many. Okay. First of all, look at this one right here. Just look at this picture. Hold on for a second. Just look at this picture. Look how many. Look at these beautiful women. They look so young. So young. Did it come up? Hold on. Why I say it's not available? Oh, I think is this his Instagram? Hold on. They might not let me do it because it's his Facebook account. So it looked like they may have deactivated, but I didn't think that they would deactivate his Facebook account. But anyway, the man had a whole lot of women. If you just want to just go back and look at Google Brother Polight and his wives, right? He had a lot of beautiful young women. And that's why I wanted to pull up this picture, because I want you guys to see. Let me see if it'll let me pull it up now. I don't think it's going to let me. Nope. Okay. It's okay. But, you know, just go and, but it was a lot of young. There he go. Look at him. Look at this man, y'all. He ain't this brother don't look good. And I'm not saying even if he did look good, that it's okay. Absolutely not. But he's not easy on the eyes at all. But look at all these young, beautiful women that he hung around. All these young, beautiful women that were his wives. Not all of them, but you know, he had quite a few. Little girls is what I call them. I call them little girls. You guys can call them whatever you want. I call them little girls. You know, my daughter is 21. Yes, she's an adult, but she's a little girl. So when people say, well, what are the signs, you know, because we do have to be careful, right? What are the signs? There's really no signs, but at the same time, there's signs. And I just so happen to say signs are that he want to always be around. She said, go to his Instagram more. It's still up. Okay. He always want to be around young women. And most of them are half naked. So the ones that I just showed on Google, those wasn't even the half naked ones. Let me go to Instagram, like she said. I'm gonna pull it up on Instagram. Somebody said, I bet they have something in common. A father that's not in a home or not feeling loved or loving for love or looking for love. Yes, I will agree with you, beautiful queen. I would absolutely agree with you, because I don't think a whole lot of fathers that's in the home would allow their daughters to be married to a man that got multiple wives. He's older, an older man. Like, it's it's probably about money. You know what I mean? Do anybody know his Instagram handle? I don't think it's Brother Polight. Tell me what the Instagram handle is if you know it, please. That one that told me that it's on Instagram. What is his Instagram handle? Because I see a whole bunch of Brother Polights over here, a whole bunch of them. Somebody said for the money they will. So you're saying for the money you think the father will let them? I don't know. I don't know. You think so? I don't know if too many men will allow that. I hear you, Latan. Yes, Sonia said the same thing. So I typed in Brother Polight, but I'm getting a lot of Brother Polights that came up. A lot of them. Hold on, is this him? No, I got a lot of them come up. Hold on one second. Yeah, no, I understand what y'all saying. You gotta look out for your sons too. I get it. You do. I would just have to say, for me personally, I wasn't scared like that about my son, but definitely my daughter. So I typed in Brother Polight, but it's a whole bunch of them coming up. And the one I just clicked on is definitely not him. So tell me, is it okay? Oh, Brother _ Polight. Okay, okay. Thank you for that. No, that's not him. I did Brother _ Polight. Hold on. I still don't see it. Oh, I got him. That joker said he wrote 90 books, honey. 90 books. 90 books. Look at him, y'all. 90 books. Look at him. He think he is. Oh Lord. Look how many followers this man had. You know, I wasn't gonna let y'all hear this because I don't want this man to screw the story. But I do want you to hear it. Look, listen to this man. Now, this is his story. This is his version. Listen to his version. Hold on. His version. Hold on.
3 singles.
Of course, he's denying it, y'all.
Charge.
Hold on, let me try to go back. Now, I didn't want y'all to hear this because I didn't want y'all to have the story screwed. But you can go look it up on your own. However, listen to this. This is his version, but this is a pre-recorded. This is a pre-recording of him before he goes to jail. Okay, this is he took the plea deal, but listen to him. This is before he goes to jail. So let's start it over because I want you to hear from the beginning. How do I do
Say it again.
Hold on. All right, here we go, y'all.
Blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge. I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to.
I just want to stop and just say he's lying, but just continue to listen, but he's lying. The charges were all not dropped. Listen.
All of the sexual charges. So yeah, it's a victory, but it's bittersweet. It's a victory because I was facing life. No parole, no probation. Now you may say, how could this be possible if a minor was so-called molested and it was DNA evidence? And people say DNA don't lie. And I always said, people do. Well, let's do this. The serologist, the expert that so-called found 6 semen stains amongst a headscarf and a t-shirt. Never mind the fact the whole rape kit said negative, negative, negative. They checked this girl for 5 different types of DNA, finger DNA, all types of different DNA. Checked her vagina, checked her mouth, checked her saliva, checked her excrement, checked her feces, checked her urine. Everything came up negative. You would think because of all the violent acts I was accused of, how I came inside of her, how I came on her face, how I bust her mouth open from penetrating her so physically, that there would be some kind of trace of something, some kind of DNA. But the rape kit came up all negative. So now we're in a conundrum. So how the hell how does the DNA just skip to a t-shirt and a headscarf? Well, the serologist that did the report that labeled it semen stains, when you got high-powered attorneys such as myself, then what happens is when you spend damn near 200 grand on your defense, you have the right to do depositions. We have our own private investigator. We have our own, guess what, forensics expert. So our forensics expert said this. Our forensics expert said, we want to take a look and see what's going on over there. So when our forensics expert took a look and examined these so-called clothes with semen stains, we had some questions about how did you definitively conclude that that was semen in the first damn place? So guess what happens after that? A deposition is when we interview anybody that's part of the situation, whether it be the mother, the daughter, the people who took the 911 call, whoever. The prosecutor gets to sit in while we interview them, while there's a court-appointed stenographer that types up everything, and the prosecutor can hear everything as it goes so they can make a determining factor if they got a case or not. Point in case, we couldn't interview the serologist, Stephanie Thompson, because she mysteriously disappears when we want to question her about how she came up with those results. I'll say it again. The person who said that there was semen stains on the headscarf and the shirt, despite the fact the rape kit tested for 5 different DNAs, considering the egregious acts that I was accused of, the rape kit came up all negative, which science would suggest I did absolutely none of the things that I was accused of. Science would suggest I did absolutely none of the things that I was accused of. Okay? All right. That's what science would suggest. Science would suggest that. But here's this woman talking about this DNA evidence, and then now when we call her so we can interview her, get a deposition, and have it on record with my attorneys questioning them based on the findings of our forensic expert, she's nowhere to be found. So you know what we could do now? We could file a motion to dismiss the DNA for the case. That's what we could do. Because if we go to trial, we won't be able to cross-examine her because suddenly she disappears, she works for some private company, and no one could find her. Now, all the while, the state been giving me opportunities to plead 20 years sexual offender, plead 15 years sexual offender. And I'm like, I don't care if you gave me 1 day in prison. So long as you got that label registered sex offender on there, I'm going to trial. So long as you got that label there, registered sex offender, I'm going to trial because I can never make a plea to something like that. So guess what happens? The state says if we ever want to do interviews, depositions, if we ever want to get a deposition from the mother and a deposition from the daughter, all bets are off. They'll never do an agreement with you. They said they'll never do an agreement Never do an agreement. Work out an agreement or a plea. I said, I don't give a. My attorney should tell you straight up, because when you see my attorney video, he's going to tell you straight up. From day one, I said, I'm never doing an agreement to any sexual charges. Interview the mother and the daughter. So they had to last about depositions. We got the police body cams. We realized that the police report contradicts the affidavit that they did. The affidavit contradicts the interviews that they did on the body cam. So we got 3 contradictions. The story that the mother and daughter tells on the body cam, the stories that they told in the police report, and the stories that they tell on the affidavits. None of them work out. Let's think about that. But ultimately, we want to interview them. So when we interview them and do our depositions, have the prosecutor sit there, we already know where they're lying. We already know their lies. We looked at each of the 3 different types of lies they said for that night. So guess what's going to happen when we get to interview them? We're just going to ask them questions so they can contradict themselves. So when we go to court, we can ask them which story is true and why did you lie? So the prosecutor hits us again. Well, you know he's going to be facing life. We're in a week now where we got to interview the mother and daughter to get the deposition. So guess what happens 2 days before the mother and daughter are supposed to fly into town for us to get the depositions? They call. We were all threatening me. 2 days before the mother and daughter are supposed to fly out, they say, hey, we drop all the sexual charges. Huh? They say we're dropping all the sexual charges. And let me add something to this. Y'all heard this crazy story that I called a grown woman and asked if I could take her 14-year-old girl to a party. And y'all believe that bullshit. But guess what my text messages say? My text messages say, she asked me, let's reverse. Do you know that we broke up that same day? And later that, within a day, within 24 hours, she filed a criminal complaint. Let's add some more color to it. Do you know that the same day that I broke up with her, in my text messages is proven, she said she was going to destroy my life. She was going to fuck my whole shit up. So we have motive. Do you know that I wasn't the one that asked to take her daughter to a party after 2 a.m. in the morning? Do you know my text messages say? She contacted me and asked me to take her daughter out to a party after 2 a.m. in the morning, and I vehemently declined. I said, what the hell do I look like as a grown man taking a 14-year-old that obviously looks like a minor to a party? Y'all don't know that, though. All of this is in my text messages. Y'all don't know that, though. So you say, well, then, Polight, then you should be clean. I should be, but unfortunately, the mother turned her daughter in. The daughter got high and intoxicated, and because I'm not the one that turned them in, now we dealing with child abuse and delinquency of a minor. If they could, so I'm like, let's fight it. So my attorney's like, I just want you to understand that this child abuse in Florida, child abuse from the child being intoxicated, they can give you 30 years in prison. I'm like, man, take the goddamn agreement. If, under what circumstances, if they can convince a jury that whether you gave her alcohol or you was aware that she was high at any point in time and you didn't turn her in, but since the mother did, you could be subject to 30 years. So I said, let's make a goddamn agreement, man, and let's work this thing out. So still got to sit down somehow, some way, but it is what it is. Blessings in abundance is bittersweet. Oh my goodness. And more information is going to come out. This shit is far from over for all the lies that was told on me. Peace. Blessings in abundance.
So,
mother.
You know, I'm reading y'all comments and y'all so on it. I love y'all. But listen, you were right. Who is this? Beautiful queen. He is totally convincing himself that it didn't happen the way it happened, and he done made up this whole story. You are so correct. My thing is, why are you in a hotel with a 14-year-old? That was never, he never even denied that part. Why are you in a hotel with a 14-year-old? He trying to say, oh, she asked me to take her daughter to the club, and he said, he said, no, I'm not going to take her to the club. Well, how did she get with you by yourself in a hotel? He does talk too much, LaTanya. He talks too much. He's too cocky. And the thing about it is, this program that he has to go through after he does his 7 years, they're going to be listening to him, right? And the fact that he's like, oh, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. So, you know, when you go through these type programs, they want to know that you feel like, okay, you know what I did was wrong. Let me get help. Let me take some responsibility. That's part of the program. Acknowledging, taking responsibility. How are you going to get help if you're denying that you did what you actually did? This man is cocky, smooth talker, like somebody said earlier. He literally, like, you know, then he's trying to say his semen, the 6 little spots of semen that they found wasn't really semen. So what was it? And he was like, and it was found on a scarf and a t-shirt. Why is your DNA semen on a scarf and a t-shirt? He's like, well, they didn't find it in her JJ. They looked in her rectum. It wasn't there. They didn't find nothing in her mouth. Then he says his text messages that he has that says that the girlfriend asked him to take the 14-year-old to the club. Where are the text messages? And we know text messages can be altered, can be fake. We know text messages can be made up. This man is whack. But the fact that he doesn't even have no remorse, like you guys pointed out, none whatsoever, no remorse. You know? And then he's like, oh, they got everybody's statement. They got the police report. They got my lawyer ready to rip them apart. Only thing we need now, we need a deposition from the mother and her daughter. His lawyer, he says, ready to rip them apart. And the mother's like, no, I don't want my 14-year-old daughter having to go through that. Would you guys, by the show of hands, would you put your 14-year-old daughter through a trial? Or would you try to offer a plea deal as well? And the thing about it is, if you so innocent, Brother Polight, if you're so innocent, there's no way in the hell that you would have said yes or pled guilty. You would have fought it. You would have rather went to prison and got out on good behavior, whatever the case may be, to contributing alcohol to a minor. That's what I should have asked y'all. Would you rather go to prison with the charge of contributing alcohol to a minor versus molesting, sexually assaulting, and abusing a 14-year-old? Which one? Which one? Let's take a freaking plea. You're guilty. Which one? Contributing, okay. He's gonna take a plea deal. He was like, I was gonna have to sit down anyway. I was gonna have to go to prison anyway. So I just said, well, let's just go ahead and take the 7 years. I'll just do 7. And then he said, oh, this is a victory. Exactly. Blame the alcohol. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, exactly, Yolanda. That program, what she's saying, that program that he has to go through after he does his 7 years, he has to pass that program. When I say pass, they have to speak out and say, yes, this man, Michael Nozak, I think that's his name, Michael Nozak or something like that. She said, I have to disagree with you more. People do take plea deals so that they don't have to do as much time. I've seen it done many, many times before. They feel like the jury wouldn't believe the story. Yeah, I understand that. But if you're going to go to prison anyway, I just don't know anybody that will go to prison if they're innocent of that type of crime. So you're saying that you're saying to me, Tony with an I, that you believe a man would take a plea deal, even though he know he's innocent of molesting a child? Because that's a hard charge. Because they do weird stuff to you in prison. She said, "I'm sorry to say, but I hear what you're saying, Winnie. I feel you on that too. You got that right. It's a blessing time." She said, "A spirit of lust and perversion got a strong hold of him, and he knew women was just they was they fell for him. He was that smooth talker. They was he can get any woman he wanted. I ain't gonna say any. Let me correct myself. I ain't gonna say any. Because I'm sure us in this chat would be like, heck no, he couldn't have got me. Oh, I see what y'all, you saying, oh, he got 7 years. He took a plea of 7 and he don't have to register a sex offender. He won. And that's why he's doing what he's doing. Yeah, he's locked up. He's locked up now. So yeah, he's like, oh, I got a victory. It was a victory, y'all. It was a victory, fam. Yeah. For what he did, maybe it was a victory because he only got 7 years. But I think, and we have to understand this, I think the 7 years in prison and the 10 years of monitored probation, that's going to be hard for him. I believe it's going to be hard for him. Because when that type of spirit is in you, it's in you. So, and if he does anything after he gets out during that 10-year time, he has to go and do his whole sentence. So we'll just have to see. But they're going to serve him up real good while he's in prison. Yes, beautiful queen, he will slip up again. That's in him. Unless he do get the help that he needs while he's in there. Now, I don't know what type of help he needs. The program that he's going through, hopefully, will help him, but I don't know. You got a brother that's sitting here saying he didn't do it. The mama and the daughter is a liar. The daughter got drunk, drugged herself, and made up this story. How do you rehabilitate someone like this? He won't take accountability. He feels like he did nothing wrong, which means that he could do it again. Absolutely. He said, no, he didn't win. It's a lot that's attached to that. Hey, I'm going to drop the link, Callie, if you can. I don't know if you're at work, but come tell us about that program. He said there's a lot attached to that 7-year plea deal. If you can, if you're at work, just write down there, I'm busy or I'm at work. He's like, she told me to drive her to the club, because his story is the mother asked him to take her to the club, but when he got to the club, it was closed. The club was closed, so he took her to the hotel. Come on. I don't know what mother would ask her boyfriend to take her daughter to the club and she ain't with him. And then now the club is closed, so you take her to the hotel. Like, the whole story is, I believe the mom's story. I believe the mom's story. But the thing about it is, he has a lot of followers, y'all. And believe it or not, this is the sad part about it. You know how, I think it was Callie that told us before, there will always be new fools. That is true. You got people out here that actually believe this man is innocent. Now, I would have to say, because I did stroll through the internet, and there's a lot of people that even was believing in him that's no longer believing in him, that believe that he is not innocent. But guess what, though? With that said, there's still a lot of people that think that this brother is innocent. Hey, Callie, how are you today? Callie, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's happening?
How are you?
I'm good, man.
I know you know a little bit about this story with this
Man.
community social media influencer. How many wives did he have, Kelly?
I want to say he had like 5.
That's what I heard too. I heard
I-
5 or 6.
I want to say, yeah, I want to say like 5 or 6. You know how they are doing this little community, man. They are
Yeah. I know. They love all these women.
this whole little polygamy thing. Everybody trying to do this whole little polygamy thing, man. Listen, it be all cat, man. But hey, what up, y'all? I see y'all in the chat. What's happening?
But majority of his wives were young women, though, right?
The wives. I really don't know what their ages were, honestly.
I just looked at the photos and they look mighty young.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Like, when I keep telling y'all, let's take R. Kelly for instance. R. Kelly wasn't doing this stuff, the stuff that he was doing. He wasn't doing this stuff on his own. These people have people around them who are just like them. So I sent you a video the other day where I showed you him on the Jesse, I think his name, Jesse Lee Peterson show or something. And I showed y'all his main wife. I think her name is Amanette or something like that. I showed y'all him on that show. And that wife is in with him on praying on these women. She's a part of him. She helps to bring in the girls. She's a part of his ring. So that's his partner in crime. You feel what I'm saying? So when he was sitting on the couch and Jesse Lee Peterson was asking him, it was him, the main wife, and then the young girl, who he used to call his daughter, and now she is one of his wives.
Yeah.
Jesse Lee Peterson asked him, so how did y'all meet? Where did y'all meet at? And the girl was telling the story. She said, well, I was really young when I met them. I used to come to the bookstore with my mom. So he said, well, how young? And it was at that moment. She said, well, I was like 16, 17, and you could see the looks on their face, on Polight and the wife's face, like, oh, Lord. Like, oh, man, don't say that. Yeah,
right,
so that means y'all was praying on this girl when she was 16 years old, and your wife allowed you to bring her in. I did videos and everything on this. Because this isn't the first that he's been caught with these young girls. And this is what I was telling you the other night. This whole little conscious community, all these little conscious con artists, dudes,
talkers,
they all tied up in some type of, either they're dealing with children or they're abusing women. They use this, hey, my sister, hey, queen, hey, that old Kevin Wesley shit, all of that shit. I told y'all, they birds of a feather flock together. Nature Boy, yep. Listen, y'all, let's name them off. Nature Boy, I see y'all in the chat. I told you they would know. Nature Boy, you got Malachi Z. York, you got Nature Boy, you got Polight, you got Rashad Jamal just got 16 years for dealing with it, messing with his girlfriend's daughter. Who else? You got Shaka Amos got he got accusations against him. You got who else? It's a group
R. Kelly.
I mean, R. Kelly, he ain't with the conscious community, but I'm just showing you all of these little smooth talking ass conscious niggas. They all flock together. That whole little conscious community over there, they all hang together. And that's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all gotta watch the company people keep. I don't have homeboys that I hang around that I knowingly know got open cases of molesting children, or I don't hang with niggas like that. Now you gotta ask yourself, you got people like Kevin Wesley sitting over there on Sinetta's couch with all of these niggas that's tied in with these children. And then you got accusations against you too, nigga. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying you can deny it all you want.
Do
And
you
I'm
think
saying,
let me ask you this, Callie. Do you think it's like a power play? Do you think that it's the more women that I can recruit or get on my side? Is that like some type of power play? Like, why so many women?
what
What
do
is
you
going
mean?
on with
Like,
this?
what do you mean? Like, as far as the polygamy
Like, it's a
thing,
power
or
play. It makes them feel powerful to be able to have multiple wives or convince these women to marry them. And then, and as
yeah,
far as the
it's
messing with their daughters, do you think they do that to try to recruit the daughters?
you. I mean, you got different people who do different things for different reasons, just like the pastors in the churches. You feel what I'm saying? They get close to. I mean, it just depends on what the person's preference is. You got some of these guys who specifically look for women with daughters, weak women with daughters. Their whole goal in the end is to get with the daughter. And yes, it'd be a power trip. It's a power thing. You got some who just want to run a pimp game. They have no interest in young girls. They just have an interest in pimping women. And they use the queen, hey, beautiful queen. And they use all of that to get in your head.
Right.
They use, the Lord said this, the Lord said that, and God led me to you. And sister, I'm a God-fearing man. Yeah, they use all that feel-good stuff to say, and they manipulate women. That's why they say in the church, right? They say in the church, down at TD Jakes, them church and stuff, they teach those pastors. This is what they teach those pastors. You get the woman, you get the house. You get the woman, you get the house. They teach that to these prophets and stuff in these churches. A bishop told me this. He used to be with T.D. Jakes. He told me this. He said, this is what they teach us. They teach us, we go out there and we prophesy to these people. We prophesy to these people. And if they don't give up enough money, we come back out there and we prophesy some more to them. And he said the goal is to get the woman, then you get the house. They manipulate, they prey on women. They prey on women emotions from the church to this conscious community stuff ain't nothing but church all over again. That's all it is. These niggas gave up Jesus for an unk. It's church all over again. These niggas ain't nothing but pastors manipulating, preying on women. And this whole polygamy thing. Yeah.
So for women, what would be some of the signs that you think? Now I know a smooth talker, manipulating smooth talker would be one sign. But what are some other signs that women with girl children or boy, because we got some people in the audience that say it happens to sons as well.
It definitely does happen to boys too. It definitely does.
So what do they need to look for? Like, what are some of the signs that you think that they need to look for?
You just watch people's character. You watch people's character. You watch the company they keep. You watch you pay attention to the signs of what people are into. You got to listen to people. Listen to people talk. Like, if you listen to people talk, people will tell you. Because here's the thing, especially these men, right? Especially these men, they will try you. Like, I mean, come on, that's any smooth talking man or woman. You got women that do the same thing. They'll say things to you. You just gotta listen. They'll say things to you to try you, to see what you'll accept, to see what you won't accept. You feel what I'm saying? To see what they can do, to see what they can't do. You see what I'm saying? You have to pay attention to those signs. I call it signs of the universe. These signs and stuff are put in your face for a reason. Listen, when I have two girls, I have two boys. I had custody. I raised my boys from babies. Their mama abandoned them, walked away from them. I raised my boys from babies.
Oh wow.
You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? To the
Okay.
grown men that they are today.
Okay.
And my girls, I never hid anything from my children. And I talk to my children just like the world would talk to them.
Okay.
I don't sugarcoat nothing. I used to tell my girls, you girls, your bodies are ahead of your time. These niggas don't care nothing about your age. They know you're young and they're looking for young minds young-minded women to control. You feel what I'm saying? It's a control thing. If I can get her young, I can control that mind young. I can mold her. I can mold her into what I want her to be. And it's the same way with these boys. You got women out here that like young dudes. They like young dudes. You would never know, and it'd be the people you would never guess. Let me say, if you don't believe in God, that's on you. Let me say, yeah. But yeah, you have women out here who like it goes both ways. We just don't, when it comes to our boys,
we're not as that's what I said. So Callie, I said, and because I have a boy and a girl, and I said I wasn't as concerned with my son as I was with my daughter. I was very afraid of my daughter, and I watched. Now, I watched very, very careful. But let me say this: the mother of the 14-year-old said that the first time she trusts him to be alone with her daughter, he did this. You know what I'm saying? She said,
right.
And I mean, we don't know. We don't know if it was the first time, but that's freaking scary that the first time you let your daughter go along with a man.
No, listen, this isn't his first time. I mean, now with that mother, it may have been.
That mother. Oh,
but there's you can go online and no, I wasn't talking about all churches.
Yeah, so please don't get your panties in a wad when someone says something against church. And it doesn't matter how great or popular the church is. Trust me, it's some devils up in there.
There's some stuff going down in them churches.
Yes, don't just think because it's a popular church that your church don't have no foul crap going on in there.
You better believe it. And let me tell you, Amara, just so y'all know, I mean, because I know firsthand what go down in churches. I'm a preacher's kid.
Trust me, I know too.
I'm a preacher's kid. My mama and daddy are preachers to this day. Right now, yeah. I went to churches all over the world. I've lived around the world. I went to churches everywhere, and you better believe it's all kind of stuff going down in these churches. And I know. And that's why so many people that's why so many of these pastors get away with the stuff they do, because y'all think y'all pastors ain't doing nothing. And y'all think y'all put these pastors on these pedestals. Y'all put these first ladies on these pedestals. And y'all think they won't touch your children. Y'all think, I can leave. Listen, I done seen parents cover up for the pastors. So knowing the pastors, knowing they doing dirt. And I'm telling you this as a preacher's kid. Yeah, the wives too. Yeah. Listen, I was one of those kids. Yeah, in the church. I was managed in a motherfucker. Excuse me. I was managed, very managed when I was young. And I did a lot. Yeah. So I know firsthand these women like young dudes. Yeah. And you would never, ever guess who they are, because they don't carry themselves that way. That's all I'm telling you. I mean, I'm a preacher's kid. So I know, man. I know.
A lot of people get protective when you mention their church, but trust me, God ain't created no one building if everybody in that building is of God. Like, come on, y'all. You got to think outside the box here. You got some devils that's probably sitting right beside you.
Man, you better know it's some devils sitting right beside you.
And run around and bang the tamarina and speak in tongues and this, that, and the other don't mean that they are of God. They leave that place from where you are and go and do some of the foulest thing. And I'm not saying everybody, and we should know that. But
We should
please
know
don't
that,
think
right.
that just because it's
Right.
your church name that it is everybody in there is saints. Trust me, it's not. It's some in that pulpit that's laying hands and speaking in tongues and shouting and doing all that other stuff that's not right. I'm just saying.
And you got to understand, if you sit back and you listen to some of the stories people tell about their hurt and pain in them churches,
from the church.
because people don't believe them, because they you know how many people are scared to speak up and say what the pastor or the deacon did to them on a trip or wherever. You know how many people are scared to speak up because it's people who think their pastor. And no, my pastor would never do anything like that. Listen,
Exactly.
man.
They have too much faith in that man.
Yeah,
that man. He is a man.
He's a man. He or she is a man. And this is the thing. This is how it happens to us. Now, another thing I wanted to say, though, real quick, and I'm gonna let you get back to your show. We gotta understand, y'all, this goes on in our community way more than we believe. You know why we don't hear about it? You know why we don't hear about it? Because grandmama swept it under the rug. Granddaddy swept it under the rug. Uncle swept it under the rug. Mama swept it under the rug and ignored it. And then y'all wonder why we got mental illnesses in our community. And you think why our children won't speak up and tell what's going on with them. Why? If grandmama gonna sweep it under the rug, daddy gonna sweep it under the rug. You feel what I'm saying? So I told my girls, these niggas don't care about your age. Y'all are more developed. Y'all are very developed. And these niggas out here don't care about your age. So you got to know it when you see it. You got to know the BS when you see it. You got to see it coming from around the corner. You got to know game when you hear it coming. And I'm going to tell you the game we will say to you. This is what we'll say to you. We going to say this. We going to say that. You know what I'm saying? We going to say, hey, queen. Hey, my beautiful sister. Oh, yeah. I want to counsel you. I want to get you, you know, you should come through so I can, we're going to say all that, the black woman is God nonsense.
You are a goddess.
You're a goddess. You're a goddess. Peace goddess. Yeah, we're going to say all of that. We're going to say all of that. You feel what I'm saying? But when it comes to Polight, what I do want y'all to understand is he ain't win. Do y'all know how much he has attached to that plea deal?
Yeah, explain that right there, because he has to go through some type of program.
He got to go. Listen, he has to go through an involuntary. He's not even able to say when he's fit to go back out into society. They say when he's fit to go out into society. And also, he has 61 years hanging over his head. 10 years probation. He ain't win. 10 years probation. He has to admit, he's going to have to admit that he is a sex offender, whether it's on paper or not. Yeah, he took that plea deal to where it says he doesn't have to register, but he got so much more he's going to have to deal with when he gets out. First of all, he got to hope he don't violate while he's in his 7-year span. When he gets into prison, he got to hope he don't violate, or he's got to do them 61 years. He has 61. That 7 years is only the plea deal that the mother chose to put on the table.
And when you say violate, you mean just do extra crime, like do something to get himself in trouble.
He can't get in no other trouble. Whatever his conditions are, he cannot violate them. You got 10 years probation hanging over your head after you do your 7 years or your 5 years. But wait a minute. Like I said, he has to go through that program. Those people at any point could say, yeah, we don't feel like you're fit yet. And here's the thing. If you don't admit to what you did, my nigga, you're not getting out.
That's what I was about to say.
You're not coming out.
he's going to have to show some type of remorse and take accountability, correct?
Yeah, you're gonna have to admit to what you did, and you're gonna have to go through a program. But at the same time, it's not up to you when you go through that program. It's up to those people. It's up to those people.
Whether
so
not
you got a whole lot hanging over your head, bro. That ain't no win.
Yeah.
He never pled guilty. He did plead guilty. What do you mean he didn't plead guilty? That's why he's doing 7 years right now.
Yeah, a plea deal is saying that you are guilty for something. A plea deal, yeah.
He took lesser charges.
He took lesser charges.
It was a plea that they put together.
That
they offered him a plea. It may not be. He had a whole lot of charges. They knocked down some of those charges in order for him to have a plea deal. He pled to lesser charges. That's why he still has the 61 years hanging over his head in case he violates in them 7 years. That whole 7 years goes out the window, and he's got to do them 61 years. So that's definitely no win. He's got 10 years probation. Goodness gracious. But that's not his first time with them women, with little girls, because Sinetta called him out before about a little girl. Yeah, it's more cases of him with young girls. So them women that's around him, they know. Yeah, them women knew. And that's what I'm saying. Your circle, the circle of people you're hanging around, man, come on, man. Somebody know what you're doing and what you into. And he was at events with these little girls. It was one story they told. It was one story that they told where they said the little girl's dad caught Polight with the girl and her homegirl at the corner store. And the girls saw their dad, and they tried to duck and hide inside of the corner store. Sinetta told this story. The dad seen him though, and the dad, whatever he did to Polight, he had Polight crying out there on that corner, on that street corner.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so this ain't the first time. You got Sinetta telling the story. Hey brother, don't make me tell on you. Don't make me talk about how you took that little girl. That little girl was in love with you. She ran away from home because she was in love with you. Whoa. She's in love with who? You telling us what?
Now this is not the 14-year-old that just was on drugs.
No. This is another little girl. This is what I'm saying. This ain't the first one. This is one of the little girls who ended up becoming one of his wives. So I'm telling y'all, like these dudes, they flock together. Together, man. But I'm gonna let you get back to your show, man. I just
thank you for coming in. Hold on, let me say 1 second, Callie. Tanya, you want to say something to him? We got Tanya. She just joined the panel. You want to say something to Callie?
No, I didn't want to say like nothing directly to Callie, but I do hear him, and I agree with him 100%. But I was just coming on to, I just chimed in, and I was going back and listening to you, and I heard that impact statement. Yes. And I kind of skimmed. I kind of got off of it because that's triggering. And when I didn't know it was something about a pastor, and I went through the same thing at the age of 13 with a pastor. So when Callie said, the people, then that's when God gave me that's when I got the spirit of discernment. To see the wolf in sheep clothing coming. But this was a pastor, so we raised to trust the pastor. The pastor loves you, but he had a wife. And for a pastor to I'll say gain your trust and then jump you, out of the blue after you trusted him for so long. His wife knew what type of beast he was. And she stayed with him all these years. And then when it be the women that fight you and don't believe you at the tender age of 13, that shit carries up into your adulthood. Amora, I'm 41 years old and I still have issues with my husband touching me. I still have affection issues. That shit bothers it. And I have 6 children. I got 3 daughters. And I'm so overprotective of all my kids because he touched boys and he touched girls. It's like he touched boys and he touched girls. Now the judicial system fucked up because they kept letting him out. But
So
see, when he got to
get in trouble, like did they eventually tell on him?
He kept getting out on bond.
Okay.
So he kept getting out on bond, right? So when he got to me, that's when he got the 3 life sentence because I wasn't going. At the age of 13, I wasn't going. I was a fighter and I wasn't going. So he's still behind bars, but it still bothers me. I still have issues. I didn't go to counseling. I'm going to counseling now because it still takes effect in my marriage. It takes effect with my kids. I'm overprotective of my children. I don't let them go anywhere. None of that. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling to have over your life.
And I think I saw you in the audience stated that the pastor's wife didn't believe you.
No, she did not believe me. Even though she saw him with me, it was crazy because he kidnapped me and he made me drive the car and she chased us because she thought that we were sleeping together. And
wait a minute, you said she made you drive
chased me in the car. We flipped over the car.
Wow.
He made me drive the car to get away from her at the age of 13. We flipped the car. She rammed the car. We flipped the car. And I don't know how he got out. He got me out the car. He pulled a gun on her for her to leave. It's just crazy. It's crazy at the age of 13. He put a gun on his wife. His wife knew what type of beast he was.
Wow.
She knew it. And then she went into after she saw all of that, she went into the court and testified for him.
Testified on his behalf.
Yes, said it was consensual at the age of 13. At 13. Yeah.
That's not even legally consensual. It's not even legal. What state were you in? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're using America, right?
Right. I'm in Arkansas. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
So,
did she get time too? Because she should have gotten time too.
She didn't get any time. She didn't get no time. She just
did she stay with him or did she divorce him?
She divorced him after he went to jail, after he went to prison.
And got 3 life sentences.
Yeah, 3 life sentences. He did some. It was bad. It was bad, and he had been. I guess they just gave him all the charges from when he got bailed from the first boy and then an 8-year-old girl. It was just a lot.
He kidnapped you, and let me ask you this. So, and I'm asking you this. You said you're 41. Okay, so I'm 50. So back in the day, how we were raised, we were not as open as our kids are now. Okay. And so sometimes we were afraid to say certain things. So let me just ask you this. When it first happened to you, were you afraid to say anything or did you say anything right then and there? How did that happen?
Well, when it first happened to me, it was I was like 8 at a friend's house. It was her dad. So that time, yeah. That time I was afraid because that was my friend.
Okay.
And I didn't realize what was going on because he would always want to play hide and go seek and he would find me and tickle me. But tickle me in place that he shouldn't be tickling me.
I got you. Yeah.
And so at that time, yes, I was scared. But when I was 13 and that happened, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. I told my mom. I just told the police. I told police everything. I think I was more angry.
Now, when he kidnapped you, did he just let you go, or did they have to come find you, or like what?
No, he let me go. I begged him to let me go. I begged him. I said, I won't tell nobody. If you just let me go, please, just let me go. Just let me go. I won't tell nobody. And I ran all the way home, and I just dropped on the floor into my mama. Ran to my mama. These bastards, and I had a fight with God for so long to say, how could you let a pastor do this to me?
Yeah,
it was horrible. It was horrible, and I still go through trauma and just anxiety and all that stuff to this day. So people be like, "Oh, just get over it." No, that's not something you just get over. It carries over
No.
into your marriage. It carries over into your
Yeah.
children. All of it. It affects everything. And so
It
I
does.
feel so bad for little girls like that 14. Like, come on, man, for you to just do damage to her like that. This girl's gonna live with this shit forever.
And you know what gets me, Tanya? The fact that now he wants to try to flip it and try to make her the person in the wrong. She got herself drunk. She took
Mhm.
these drugs. She did, you know, they like to blame it back on you. And that's
Right.
that's the part that I don't like. But one thing that I do like, though, Tanya, in your case and this 14-year-old case, that your parent believed you and
Mhm.
filed charges. It's so many times, even if your mom was in the church, some mothers would have still tried to protect the pastor. Do you understand what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
Some people
Oh
would have
yeah.
protected the pastor. Some people would have protected their boyfriend. Some people would protect their husbands. And I'm saying, stop protecting these men just because you love them, respect them, or whatever the case may be. Stop.
Yep. Yep. They tried, and you know, they have the rape shield law, but they were still trying to say, "Oh, I'm 13 now at this time." So they're trying to say that I was sleeping around. This type of female. All I did was play basketball and go to school. I mean, who am I sleeping around with at the age of
They like
13
to
like
blame
that?
the victim, and that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
I don't blame the mom. I would not have put my 14-year-old on the stand. However, somebody said in the
Mhm.
comments, and I would have to agree. He would have had to be met in the back of an alley. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because those
Mhm.
type of things that happen, like, it makes you very, very angry. So he
Yep.
would have had to be met in the back of an alley, or I would have to tip somebody off in that prison
Yep.
because you violated my daughter and you begged me not to tell. Like, how could I go to sleep at night knowing that you did this to my daughter?
Right.
And stay with you.
Yep.
Let you go without me saying anything negative.
But it happens so many times. It's happening right now as we speak. It happens so many times. And
It
it
does.
happens with boys, and people don't understand it happens to boys just like it happens to girls. This shit happens all over the country, the world.
The world.
And people don't,
Right.
our adults are not protecting the children. You have
Yeah.
to protect your children. I don't give a shit. If it's the daddy, the brother, the sister, whoever, protect your child.
Uncle, the brother-in-law,
All of them.
the
Yes.
step-daddy.
Protect your kids.
Yes. Protect your kids. Stop acting like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to find nobody else that's gonna love me. No, report that joker. That's
Right.
not who you want in your life. Stop taking up for these people. Stop letting it blow over. Like Callie said, stop sweeping it under the rug.
Mhm.
We
Yep.
gotta break that cycle. Stop letting it go.
Yep.
Oh, I
Our
don't want
grandparents
Yes.
take their shit to the grave.
They take it to the grave. Trust me, I know.
And it's sad. It's sad.
To the grave. Or they try to blame you in some type of way. You shouldn't have been
Mhm.
sitting on his lap. You shouldn't have been braiding his hair. You shouldn't have been
Yep.
running around with shorts on. You shouldn't have been. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. What was she doing at the park playing basketball? What?
I know, that is crazy. What's she doing playing basketball by herself?
Yeah,
Like, what?
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was
She
just
just
getting it was just a
stigma. Yeah, you're right, Tinkers.
oh
She
yeah.
said
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And then not
And
only
it was
that,
crazy because one of the boys I went to school with, I was in the same class with him. And we was at the trial together. I didn't even know.
oh, yeah, boys don't tell as often as girls. They don't tell. I don't even
Mm-mm.
think. I think that they'd be more embarrassed. The
Yeah.
boys be embarrassed. You know, like that incident that happened with in the church. They're more embarrassed. But let me ask you something, Tanya, and I'm gonna drop the link for anybody else that want to come up and chime in on this. What do you think? Because this is the conversation I really want to have. Like, what type of conversation? Because I'm gonna tell you what I did with my daughter after I answer these questions. Ask this question. What type of conversation do you need to have with your children, not just your daughter, but with your children to protect them in these types of incidents? I understand that kidnapping and raping, when you kidnap them, take them away or whatever, that's one thing, right? Because you're forcing them, this, that, and the other.
Right.
But these slick talking men, right? These
Mhm.
slick talkers that, you know, tell you, I want to take you under my wing. I want to groom you. I want to make you successful. I want to help you with your dreams come true, or whatever the case may be. What conversation would you have with your children? So warn them about these slick talking, manipulating men and women that try to take advantage of our youth.
I've had talks, just dealing with what I dealt with. My kids were young, and I had the talk about good touching and bad touching. Like
Okay.
when they started talking. Like when they first started talking, we had this conversation. Hey, it would be so bad that they would go. One of them would go to their dad's house, and they come back, and I would check them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so the
Ask them
advice,
or
like
ask them questions.
I would ask questions,
Yeah, I did too.
and because I would ask, well, who was around with your dad? You know, it was that bad. You know how I would do,
Mm-hmm.
and but I have had talks with my daughters. I told them about the situation. You know, we had our cries and everything, but the only advice I could give them is to, you know, watch your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Always, you know, have the buddy system when you get your girls or your boys. And if something don't feel right, if it don't feel right, it ain't right.
Right,
And to be honest with you, more a lot of shit that we tell them, we can't really protect them from it,
right.
because I could tell my daughter that she's beautiful, don't fall for this. But I think what needs to happen is the fathers need to tell them, because they be
Mm-hmm.
seeking. They get that, oh, he liked me because he called me beautiful. But if these fathers tell them, hey, you're beautiful, you know, this and that, and
Right.
treat them as such, they won't have to go looking for that validation or just fall for any Tom, Dick, and Harry out here.
Well, let me tell
That
you what I did. And my daughter's 21. I was like you when she went to go visit her dad. Not that her dad is a bad person, but because of my fear and insecurities and just total fear of what could happen to her, I questioned a lot and in
mhm,
detail. You understand what I'm saying? Did
yep,
somebody ever touch you here? Has anybody ever touched you there? And when daddy give you a bath, does he actually give you a bath, or does he let you know? It was weird, right?
yeah,
But
mhm,
but it got to the point where my daughter would actually come home and say, "Mom, daddy didn't touch me. No one touched me. I'm good." You know, I was so overprotective. So
yeah,
I had to back off a little bit as she got older. You understand what I'm saying? But
mhm,
the part that you just said, that you said it take these men to pour into these daughters and let them know they're beautiful and stuff like that. I agree with you. However, I was big on that with my daughter because my
yeah,
daughter's dark skinned like me. And I poured into her, baby, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. Don't let no one tell you you're not. I got off her features and got on her intellect and let her know
yeah,
like how much she has to offer. You know,
mhm,
girl, you're smart, you're this, you're well traveled, you're very diverse. You know, I just pointed out other attributes that she carried other than her looks to let
right,
her know. Don't just settle for just any old guy. And I also told her
mhm,
about you're gonna think when I tell you I talked to my daughter, you're gonna think the first guy to tell you that he love you, you're gonna think the world of him. Trust me, they're gonna do that for a reason. I mean, I really, really told
right,
you. You understand what I'm saying? Not that you can't fall in love with the first person to tell you they love you, but at the same time, be mindful of that. The first person
mhm,
to tell you they love you, don't take that to heart. You understand what I'm saying? So
right,
I talked to my daughter, but now she's 21, and I just love the way she moves. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
mhm,
dating a guy, and I'm gonna let you talk in a minute, Tamik. But she was dating a guy. I liked the guy. I thought the guy was real cool, very respectful, yes ma'am, no ma'am type guy. But my daughter told me, she told me and my husband, she says, Mom, Dad, I'm breaking up with him because he lacks good communication skills. I said, what do you mean he lacks good communication skills? Because I thought he was so sweet. I said, does he say mean things to you, this, that, and the other? She says, no, Mom, he doesn't talk. He don't express his feelings. She says, if I tell
mhm,
him something that I have a problem with, all he says, okay, okay. He don't talk. And she said, I can't be with a man like that. And it just made me feel so good because no matter how much somebody else may like him for you, You
Right.
have to know what you like and what you don't like. And she didn't like that, his lack of communication skills. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You don't know how to express your feelings, just going with the flow and just yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? He didn't know how to actually communicate back with her effectively enough for her. And she
Right,
broke
and
up.
that's a big deal in relationship,
That's a big
communication.
deal in a relationship. And when I was like, oh my God, and I had to tell my husband, I'm like, dang, she getting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, she's just
Mhm.
21, she's just 21. But she's in another relationship now, but she got it without me having to say anything. So I
Right.
thought that was commendable. But we gotta pour into our children. We gotta pour into our kids. We gotta, talk to them, encourage them, motivate them, so that slick talker out there on the road won't be that one that come and sweep them off their feet and sell them a dream like the pastor did with these young boys, sold them a
Right.
dream, flying them outside the country and saying, "Oh, I can make your dreams come true," and all that type of stuff. We got to talk to our youth,
Yep. Yep. And let them talk and listen to them.
and listen
Let
to
them be able to come talk to us. Don't yell because you don't like what they saying and all of that, because they not gonna come tell you.
them. Tamik, how you doing, Tamik?
Hey, Amora, how you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good. Hope you are.
I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to touch on the point of the beginning of this story.
Okay.
Um, it's a lot of history behind this. I have done my research. I have been watching him for years, and I
Okay.
just want to say that he has been in another country and where that was allowed. So
Oh,
then when he
okay.
came
Which part was
over,
allowed? Which part?
the
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 marrying multiple women?
multiple women
Yeah.
and the abuse of children, all that stuff was overlooked over there because
Okay.
of all the money that he had.
Okay.
So
Okay.
therefore, when he got over in the States,
Mhm.
he thought that, I guess, he met this woman
Mhm.
and he tried it with her daughter and it didn't fly. But
Oh,
that's something that he was used to doing over there.
okay. Okay.
So this been like
Oh, it's in him then. That's what he did. So are you saying? Let me ask you. So are you saying that's in him? Like he's just bred it that way, and
yes, because that's what they allowed over there in the under of the country. You know, when you grease in somebody's palm, and they're poor over there where he came from.
okay.
So therefore, he had the multiple women. He was able to. That's just like when if you go to the African shops, they don't like us, right? Because
I've heard.
okay, so because they feel like we are fortunate, right?
Right.
And the reason they feel like we are fortunate is because we live on this free land or whatever, and we wasn't abused like they was. They was trade.
Okay.
So therefore they don't acknowledge us.
Not all of
So
them, but
their
I understand
children
what
was
you're
also
saying.
trade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the money over there, if you had a lot of money, you was able to do whatever you want to do. So this not the like this is like let me say this is the norm for him.
Now, what country did he come from? Do you know?
Um,
Was it?
somewhere in Africa.
Let me look it up right quick.
He's not from here.
Country of origin. He is from. Hold on.
Hmm.
They say he from New York City.
He's not. He's not.
Are y'all seeing something different? I'm seeing New York City.
That's probably where they saying he originated at, but he's not from here.
It says. It says. It says. an American author, motivate. You know, he got all these goddamn titles like all the American
Exactly.
author, motivational speaker, scholar, novelist, investor, celebrity mentor, businessman, social media influencer, and entrepreneur from New York City, United States. He is well known in the country as the author of 90 plus books. So it says he's from New York. I mean, I don't see, do y'all see that he's from another country or somewhere? Maybe his parents are from Africa. Okay, so maybe his parents was from another country. But I think he's actually from the United States, and he resides in Miami. And a guy from New York that lives in Miami, yeah, it said he was born in New York City. So his parents may be from
Nigeria,
country over in Africa or something.
Yeah, Nigeria, because that's where he originated from. And
Okay.
that's what that's how they moved around there. You know, as far as money and trade and stuff of that nature, you know,
Okay.
they would molest their own siblings over there.
Wait a minute,
So-
hold on. I gotta ask a question. This Joker is 38. No, hold on. Oh, 41. Oh, wow.
Yeah, 14.
He still look older than that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like the story goes deeper. I mean, it goes
he's
way
worth $12 million. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it goes way beyond what we see on the internet, though.
Okay. So basically, you're saying because he spent time in other countries where this type of stuff was allowed, so he brought it over here, and he thought his money was going to allow him to continue to do these acts and get away with it.
Exactly. And that woman, the lady, she probably was like the only one, the first one who really spoke up. You know, because of his history and where he came from. It's like, okay, he ran into an American woman that wasn't buying that. You're not going to molest my child.
Right.
You know,
and
but your money doesn't matter.
But you know what, Tommy? And that's an important thing to point out. So you're saying basically he probably did this before and got away with it. But that one woman, because you heard her say he begged her and begged her and begged her not to say anything. So that one woman, she said she's from the U.S. but lived abroad. Okay, thanks, Lauren. That one woman spoke out. You understand what I'm saying? Which means, like Callie said, even though he got the 7 years, it seemed like a smack on the hand, right? But if it's in him, he's gonna do it again. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. But I think that, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It says New York, but I believe that if he didn't take that plea, they would send him back, because that's the reason why.
Send him back where?
Send him back to his original state, country.
Where his original state is New York.
I'm gonna just have to disagree with that. Yeah.
But if you can find it, just let me know.
I will. I will have to contact my brother, who's really the top source.
Okay,
and,
I got you.
And he will let me know, and he'll send it to me. But I believe that if he didn't plead guilty, he take that plea, they will send his ass right back to where he belonged, back over there in that shabby country.
You said if they didn't, you said if he didn't take the plea?
Yes.
But let me ask you this, because you're saying that you've been following for a long time. So why is it that he still have I'm talking about a lot of people that's still supporting him and believe that he did not do this?
He had a large following. And a lot of people that follow him is not from him. And them people are just naive. They go along with the get along,
She said she said Africa is not a shabby country. Shabby, honey. Yeah, she's right. I was going to correct her on that because, I've never been, but my husband been. They just want us to believe that Africa is shabby. But it's some of the rules and stuff that I'll just say some of the rules in America won't allow certain things to happen
Things
that
to
they
happen.
can get away with in other countries. But Africa is not a shabby country. Africa is, America just want us to believe that. So I was going to correct you and I didn't, but thank you, Miss Tanya, for saying that. But I do understand what you're saying too, Tommy, meaning that we're a little bit more protected with our rules and laws over here than a lot of women and children in other countries.
Yes, that's what I'm saying right there.
Yeah, because some countries they still allow men to beat women. Like, let's not negate the fact that there are some countries that look at women as second-class citizens. They don't protect us as much as we need protecting. And I think America needs to do a better job in protecting us as well.
Yes.
However, the fact that, so you're saying that this is something that he did, right? This is his character. He's with a lot of women, and mainly it was because of his money. And I saw somebody in the comments say that 4 to 12 million was not a lot of money. And it's not per se, but if you're looking at young women that come from maybe broken homes, that, you know, like the young lady that just got off was saying how maybe these men daddies are absent in these girls' lives, and then they come across a man that's buying them clothes and shoes and talking in their head, right? You know,
right.
And they probably look at it as, oh my God, he loved me. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I feel like we should pour into our children, protect them by pouring into them and having them watch out for these smooth operators. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand because I have 4 daughters myself, and that's all I have. So
now, are you married?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say,
have 4 daughters, so therefore it's like you have to be very protective of your. And when y'all stated that you fear, I fear every time that, and not only them, I have granddaughters now, so therefore it's a fear in the back of my head that someone, you know, maybe may touch or bop. You know, it's just that fear there.
Trust me, I know.
It's always been there.
Now, what do you do to take precautions and prepare, you know, to protect your girls and your granddaughters?
Right. What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
I stay on top of them. We talk every day. I ask questions. They're grown now, though.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
grown.
No, I understand. I definitely understand the fear part or whatever. But now let me ask you something, because you follow this story. Now, the woman that actually told the mother, she sounds like she may be Hispanic or something like that. Do you know what ethnicity was the mother?
No, I don't.
Because I'm just trying to figure out, like, she told, right? She told, and I'm sure she told for the protection of her daughter.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering, like, was she, you know, I don't know if she was Black, Hispanic, white, or whatever, because, you know, he's with all type of women. With all type of women, young women at that.
Right.
But I am glad that she spoke out and told. Now, from what I heard, when they first came out, they wrote her like as if she was just a liar, you know, and they told people were coming out saying, oh, she's lying on this man. She's lying on this man. She's lying on this man. But I think when the DNA results came back and 6 spots of semen was found on a scarf and her t-shirt, that's when it took a turn.
Right. It reminds us of a story where we already are you know, I don't even want to go there.
No.
But
what you mean? Oh, you mean I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, maybe not. but I will say this though: the need to have so many women around you to validate you in some type of way, that's a sign there. It's something there.
Yes, it is.
We can't ignore that.
It to validate you,
and he wasn't an
make you feel
guy.
superior. Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Something wrong with your? I mean, that for me, it feels. I think that it is. how should I put this? Like for a man to have women, he got low self-esteem too.
That's what I
And
was
he
gonna
need
say.
women to build him, his image up.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Insecurity, and it makes him look more powerful when we have these beautiful young women hanging around him, being his
Yeah.
wives and all this bull crap. But what do you think? Following him and listening to him, was it his charisma? Was it his swag? What was it?
Charisma. His charisma is like he knew what to say and how to say it.
So now, when you used to follow him, did you follow him and believe in him?
No. Mm-mm. It was
So
just somebody that my brother would say, "Watch this fool," and
Oh,
I
so
would,
you watch them
yeah.
as in. So a lot of people follow people and watch them to more
No, my
laugh
brother,
at them and stuff.
he would put me. He say, "Watch this fool," and this is just to let me know, don't ever fall for a fool like this. Okay.
Like him, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But he fooled a lot of people, though.
He did, definitely did, and he became very popular. Because
He did.
I would watch him, and then, sometimes I wouldn't watch him because he would say stupid stuff, like really say a lot of stupid stuff. And I'm like, I'm not interested in this. And I can see why my brother say watch him.
Now, let me ask you this. So it was said that he had 5 or 6 wives. We're just going to say 5 just to say. But this was his girlfriend. Like, was she one of the wives? Because she didn't live in the home with him.
No, that wasn't. Just he was trying to recruit her
to be a wife.
Yes.
Yes. And she
trying to groom her to be a wife. And she entrusted in him a little bit too much.
Yeah, she did. Now, she claimed that this is the first time that she trusted him alone with her daughter. Do you know that to be?
I don't know.
Yeah, she said it's the first time that she trusted him to be alone by himself.
I can't see that being the first time that you trust somebody to be alone with your daughter by itself. It had to be, okay, go ahead, go ahead with him. No, I don't see that.
Right.
It had to be another time and multiple other times that you would say, yeah, go ahead, You just don't say, go ahead, be alone with him.
Yeah.
I don't buy that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you gotta say, what story do you believe? Because he said that she told him to take the daughter to a club. And he said the club was closed. So he took her to the hotel, which I think is weird. But the fact that she said she called him over and over and over again and he didn't answer the phone, like, dude.
Oh, baby.
I know I would have been looking at
we would have had all kinds of,
and I would have found his location, but
we would have had all kinds of problems, honey.
Yeah.
Location. I'm in my car at that point. Yeah. And I'm searching and looking, and I got that thing with me too.
Yeah, but he's saying that she begged me to take her daughter to a club or party. That's what he said, but he's a liar.
That's his word.
He's a liar.
That's it, right? That's his word. Mm-hmm.
Right,
we don't believe that. I don't.
Yeah, but we have to protect our youth. I still commend this mother for not bowing to him because of money, because she could have because of money. She didn't bow to him, and she reported it. It's mothers, and you know this. It's mothers out there that sweep it up under the rug, and we have to stop doing that.
I commend her too, because after that victim could be another victim, and it was victims before that, and there was women that didn't stand up before her. So,
Tinker said, "What? You got to be kidding me!" Tinker said, "Do you know this man is only 5'5"? You kidding me?" Tinker, are you for real? And I'm only saying that because, come on, 5'5", 5 wives. No, I'm just kidding.
You only know how tall they is because they sitting down, right?
Right.
You really don't know how tall they is because they always sit down. And they sitting down with their legs gapped open like they big man. Okay.
Hold on, I just want to show his Instagram a little bit. I know y'all gonna go look this man up. His name is Brother Polight. Somebody said, who are y'all talking about? We're talking about the Brother Polight Story. This man that, you know, he was one of the leaders over the conscious community. That
syphilis. They've given us vaccines that have formaldehyde
Yeah,
and
he
mercury,
is
the
short.
second most poisonous thing on the planet. And the amount of mercury that they put in our vaccines is.
Look what's behind them, Amora.
Say what now?
You say?
Look what's behind them on that video.
Brother,
Like
Hold
a
on,
coat.
Oh yeah, Coke. Yeah, they believed in him.
Yeah.
It's because these people believed in him. I heard that a lot of people followed this man.
Yes, they
A lot of
did.
people followed him and believed in him, and they really, you know, really trusted him and his
Yes.
words. And
He had some kind of brotherhood going on.
Yeah, you set up for failure.
Look at him, y'all. Hold on.
I feel like.
How do I make it? I don't know how to make it.
About your
Look at the
hardship.
big, look at the attire on the big.
Transcend.
Look at the what?
Attire in the room. He just
So flashy and stuff.
yes.
The depth of poverty. Transcend any form of adversity that you've been confronted with. I feel like that is disrespectful to your creator. It's disrespectful to your ancestors.
He was a talker for sure.
For
Just a
sure.
talker.
Look at this clown.
Flashy talker.
Look at them glasses.
Yeah.
Ooh, we a whole clown.
These are the people celebrating him, y'all.
These chargers.
They celebrate this man.
These charger droppers.
Okay, I spelled his name wrong. I gotta go fix it. He threw a whole party of the charges were dropped. Oh Lord. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm gonna let y'all go look that
Straight
man up. I
clown.
gotta spell his name right up here. It's Polight
Straight
with
clown.
a P-H-T. Yeah,
All right.
he is a straight clown.
All right, Amor, I'll go.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for coming up, baby. I do appreciate you.
You welcome.
Okay. Let me just spell his name right because I did it wrong. It's Brother Polight with a P-L-I Polight. Okay, hold on. I'm just updating it because I spelled it wrong. But yeah, they were literally celebrating him for having charges, some of the charges dropped with this man molesting a 14-year-old, taking advantage and sexually assaulting a 14-year-old. It says Brother Polight was abandoned by his father at an early age, and his mother whereabouts were a mystery. He had to fend for himself which started his criminal activity at a young age. Oh, thinkers. That may be one of the reasons why he's such a fucking asshole. It's obvious you haven't lived in Africa. Shabby country. Africa is the richest continent in the world. It is. Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the world. Thank you for correcting her. All Africans don't disrespect other Black people. You are correct. Some do, some don't. But some Americans disrespect Black people, so trust me, I know. I think that America has painted Africa in a bad light. 14 in a club, yes, 14 in a club. That's the story he wants people to believe. Yeah, Robbie, no, you know I was gonna correct it. First I wasn't gonna say that, and then I was like, oh hell no, because I understand what she was getting at though, but it's all it's a lie that America created. Let's just be honest about that. It's a lie that America created. There's a whole lot more countries out there that's way worse than any of these countries over there in Africa, but they painted Africa in a bad light when we were freaking probably weren't even born yet. You know what I mean? I think that's a whole nother topic though, but I think they did it so we wouldn't do a mass exit back, right? So that's just my, more. But maybe that's another topic. Why are these conscious ninjas started out talking that FUBUish, and then when they convey everybody or con everybody out of their money. All of a sudden they are wearing high-end ish. Because they con people out of their money, girl. Because if they can, the thing about it is, like Callie said, if they can get to the woman, they can get to the family, right? So they talk real high. And, to be honest, and I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus because, we kind of trying to switch the stories out here. But let's just be honest. You know how right now what's going on with the LaTruth saga? People say, to Kevin and to him, y'all speak so well. Y'all so elegant and well spoken and well posed, and you're just such a, great king. And those are the type of people that can gather these people right here and can trick and fool them to believe anything that they want. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that they are the same, but I'm saying you have to listen. I'm saying listen to slick talkers, guys that can, trick you into believing almost anything. Because you see for yourself, there are people out there that still believe this man, okay? Still believe this man. And if you are not the type of person that can see through the bullshit, you can't hear the bullshit, then you'll get caught up like this. You'll get caught up like this, and you'll let your daughters and your sons get caught up like this. All I'm saying is pay attention. I don't want this conversation to shift. Just pay attention to slick talking, manipulative people that want a large following and that care so much about their image. You understand what I'm saying? Pay attention to them. Pay attention to them. Yep. Listen to their talking points. Yes. They sound educated, but you got to listen. You got to listen. They sound very, very educated, but you got to listen. Some of the bullshit that they talk about, if you listen to it, right, as they form sentences, just listen to it. Some of that shit don't even make sense. I'm telling you, it don't. If you really slow down and listen, even if you got to play it over multiple times, you're going to be like, what he said don't make any damn sense. He just said this. And then he just said this. It don't make any sense. You got to listen. I'm telling you. Monique said Kevin Wesley followed him, so I'm not surprised. She said, Tamika, not you in particular, just most people in general, just have to listen to people. No, Tamika, we're not saying nothing bad about you, baby girl. Yes, just be saying stuff, just talking. Now, I'm not saying, now there's a whole lot more people out there that's like Polight, y'all. There are a lot of Polights. One of them is, what's that guy name? Is it Umar? Umar Johnson, I think that's his name. Umar and it's a whole bunch of them. Oh, Callie said Kevin actually defended Polight. Oh, really? The video is on his page. Oh, Callie, if you can, send that to me. I didn't know that. I didn't know he defended him. But a lot of people did, though, Callie. A lot of people defended that brother and said, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's wait until more evidence come up. Let's not just railroad and throw this man up under the rug. Yes, we understand that the crime that he's being charged with or accused of is serious, but we don't know right now if it's true. There's a lot of women that blame men for stuff that's not true. Yeah, y'all. It was literally people defending this man, saying there's a lot of women out there that just say that because the man don't want to be with them and blah, 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 blah. They don't want to believe it. And it could be black or white. Even now that the semen came out, you still have people saying, but why wasn't the semen found in her mouth? Why was it just found on a t-shirt instead of saying, why was this man's semen found anywhere near her daughter. There's no excuse for that. What you gonna say? Oh, you had sex with the mama last night and the mama hugged the daughter? Like, come on. There's no reason that this girl came back with a busted lip and a chipped tooth. There's no reason, and bruises on her. For what? Because she got drunk and walked into a wall? She did it to herself? Exactly, Tanya. I'm gonna have to find out with Monique. Smart criminals. That's right, Delisa. They are smart criminals. They can talk their way out of a plastic bag. You hear me? They can freaking talk their way out of a plastic bag. They get enough people to believe their lies. Trust me, they can talk their way out of a plastic bag. Umar makes a lot of sense now. I ain't pledging allegiance to him as it relates to our community. It's like his position on I like his position on a lot of things. I know my son follows him, but I did hear that he got caught up with some shit too, though, Tinkers. But I did, but my son likes him and follows him. Yes, they like running games, Angela. Okay, yeah, Monique, send me that video. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the one where Kevin defended this monster. I wonder what he said now. Did he come back and undefend him? Did he undefend him? He should have denounced that. If he came out on his platform and defended him, he needs to undefend him. No, not with a child, Tinkers. I heard it was I actually heard that he had promised to build some type of school or something for our community, and he never have. So they were saying that he was a scammer. You right, Tanya. Let me highlight your comment. Callie said, people will tell you who they are. You just have to listen. If you see a man, just like Tamir was, Tamir, how you say the name? I think it was Tamia. That was just up here. When you see a man that needs to have a lot of women around him, young women, you know, materialistic things, always showing off, showcasing that type of stuff, you got to look at that brother and you have to say to yourself, like, what is the motive behind this? Why is he in so much of a need to showcase his life, be flashy, have multiple women around? Like, what is going on? What's really going on? I wouldn't trust my daughter around someone like that. I'm just saying, a grown ass man have to always be around half naked ass women. I mean, or more. I wouldn't trust my daughter around somebody like that at all. Because no, I would not. Because what's the purpose? For what? For what? No. Because they're showing you who they are. They're showing you what they like. So hell no, I'm not doing it. So we at 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Do anybody have anything else? Or we gonna close this one out and we got another story for y'all tomorrow, y'all. Another story for y'all tomorrow. But yes, if you find that video of Kevin defending him, if you can send it to me, that would be greatly appreciated. I just want to look at it because I also want to know if he defended him, has he came back and denounced him? When they show you who you are, believe them. Yes, that part. Never dumb. Let me exhort. She said, never dumb. Let me, what is that? Something. Exit stage. No. You're not dumb, baby girl. Did anybody call you dumb? I hope not. Oh, wait a minute. Got it right here. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I can't click on it. Okay, so obviously, is that the one? Is that the link to him defending him? Because it won't let me click on it. So y'all click on that. It won't let me click on it. Maybe I'll have to click on it after I get off, but I'll look at it. But it won't let me pull it up. So, but y'all, we're gonna close this out again. Protect your youth, the youth, that's men, boys, and girls. Protect them. Don't let them, she said, try to copy and paste it. Okay, let me try to copy and paste it. Don't let them follow slick talking, manipulating people and get them caught up. Let me see. Is it gonna let me do it? Hold on. Did somebody just send it to me? All right, somebody just sent it to me. Y'all want to see it? Hold on. All right, hold on. Because maybe he did one. Maybe he came back and maybe he came back and retracted. Let's see. Maybe he came back and retracted. We about to see. Okay. All right, I see it. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I can't play it because it is on his channel, and he will strike me. So
sometimes
I can't
we
play it.
see people do things that are unbecoming.
I can't play it because it's on his channel. So I'm gonna let. If it was on someone else's channel, I would have played it because they wouldn't strike me. But you know he will. So I'm not gonna play it, but I am gonna listen to it, and maybe I'll come back another time and say something about it. But I encourage y'all to go listen to it as well. Okay. Well, she said, wait, I wasn't calling anyone dumb. I said my favorite Cali line is MF was so smart, they dumb. You just had to be there too, baby. I'll never call anyone that. Okay. Tamik, I mean, if you're still in here, she wasn't calling you dumb, baby. If you're still in here. There she go, Tamika. It's Tamik. She wasn't calling you dumb if you're still in here. If anybody know her, let her know that Robbie wasn't calling her dumb. Because we don't do that in here. We don't call ourselves dumb. She says, even if you offer commentary. So I can offer commentary, but let me see how long the video. The video is 48 minutes. I'm trying to think if it's worth it. What I'll do, Tinkers, I'll listen to it, and when I come back on next time, the first 5 or 10 minutes we'll spend, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it, okay? Because it's long. The video is long. So let me point out, let me get some. I might just take out some, just portions of it instead of the whole thing, okay? I'll do that for y'all. She says, thank you for addressing that, Amora. We are family here, and I wouldn't want anyone to feel offended. Yeah, I'll reach out to Tamik. She's fine. I'll tell her, Robbie. But listen, thank y'all for hanging with me. You know, we had a big day today, but we was able to talk about a different story. Can y'all believe that? Woo! Give yourselves a pat on the back, y'all. We talked about a different story, and I have another story coming y'all way, okay? Yeah, that's a good idea, Violet. So I'll break that video down with Kevin, talking about Polight with members only. Thank you for suggesting that. I'll do that, a members only breakdown of Kevin defending Polight, okay? If that's what it is, if he's defending him, I'll have to look at the video and see. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Good night. She said, thank you, sis. Tonight was good, and we didn't even have to fight with the ops tonight. Girl, Tinkers. Tinkers, I still owe your receipt, baby. I'm going to send it to you. Love y'all. I got to load it in the system, so I'm being a little lazy, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. See y'all.